This is The Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. This Sunday, opinion is divided at the Fort Hall School of Government over the Raila swearing-in ceremony of January the 30th. One group of scholars is persuaded that Raila should go ahead and do it. And because Raila has told us that he is prepared to die, this group is encouraging him to die if he wants to. That no one has stopped him from dying. More so because nothing can quench the flame of freedom, not even death. The second group of scholars is violently opposed to the swearing-in ceremony. According to this group, all types of oathing, let alone a fake presidential oath, are prohibited by law. Mungiki oaths are as illegal as the Raila oath, and the law should not discriminate. If Raila takes the oath prescribed in the Constitution, he should be charged with high treason. If he takes a Mungiki type of oath, he should be charged with a capital offense. Either way, he should be charged. Consider the two arguments with us.
I am violently opposed to Raila swearing himself in. It is suicidal. Raila is being led like a spotless lamb to the slaughterhouse. He is a victim of foxy fellows who want to inherit him and passionate zealots with no political credentials. And because we care for Baba, we really do, I am afraid he will be arrested and charged. If he swears himself in, he will sleep in committee that night. That is why the DPP and CID bosses were changed. The new directors will facilitate committee express with speed. But what will they charge him with? In our view, Raila is a coward. He will avoid the treason charge. He will not take the oath prescribed in the Constitution. He will take a different one. And this way you cannot charge him with treason. However, if he takes a different oath, he will be charged under Section 61 of the Penal Code. This section prohibits any form of oathing. And if found guilty, the oath takers and the organizers, including the zealots, are liable to 10 years in prison. Whatever oath Raila takes, therefore, he will be charged.
I belong to the opposite school of thought. I am persuaded that Raila should swear himself in, jail or no jail. In fact, his wife, Ida, should also take an oath of office as the people's first lady. Thereafter, Raila should establish a people's army. Every president deserves an army. He must establish a monopoly over instruments of violence. This is why Raila needs an army. Similarly, Raila should create the People's KRA or KRAB. All governments collect tax. As for foreign relations, Raila should appoint the People's Ambassadors and buy them embassies all over the world, including Canaan. In sum, Raila should swear himself in. This is the only way to read what is in his heart. And in his heart, the oathing ceremony is the first step towards secession. The People's Republic of Kenya is being constructed in slow motion in front of our own eyes. The People's Army, People's First Lady, People's Ambassadors, People's KRA are all building blocks for the People's Republic of Kenya, otherwise known as secession.
But wait a minute. What if you swear Raila in and things acquire a life of their own? Are we being too casual about this? Should we even be talking about swearing in, a government in exile, and secession? When did we degenerate to this level of constitutional nonsense? I am opposed to the swearing in because of the pain and agony of the path thereafter. If the swearing in is the first step towards the People's Republic of Kenya, what follows can only be ugly. Raila has already told us that he is ready to die for this cause. And our position is that if he wants to die, he can die. We cannot stop him from dying. However, his claim that he will form a government in exile reveals the intentions of his heart. The only reason Raila will run away from Kenya and form a Matope government in exile is if he has become the general of a rebel movement. And because you cannot do secession without a rebel movement, Raila has decided to take us to war. And the swearing-in ceremony is his first act of war.
My view is completely different. The only way to stop Raila is to swear him in. The swearing in is a path of no return. It is a gamble you cannot predict. Once you do it, you cannot reverse the consequences. Its finality is fatal. And this is what Raila needs. This man, he needs closure. The problem, however, is that we do not know the direction that this closure will take. It might destroy Raila, or it might destroy Raila. What we do know, however, is the direction Uhuru will take. In his heart, Uhuru wants Raila to swear himself in. And that is why he has not stopped him. And maybe he even wants Raila to instigate national unrest by swearing himself in. This way, Raila will play directly into Uhuru's hands. And maybe Uhuru is not even interested in treason and Committee Express locally. Maybe he wants to put Raila on the Hague Express. If Raila fixed Uhuru en route at the ICC, maybe this is the revenge time for Uhuru. And maybe this is why a trusted State House aide was dispatched to the Hague as ambassador. Maybe he is there to receive Raila at the ICC platform. You never know.
Raila is behaving like a jilted lover. He's demanding for dialogue from a man who is not interested in talking to him. If a man is not interested in talking to you because there's nothing to talk about, you should just back off and get a life. But instead, Raila is throwing himself at Uhuru and behaving like a desperate man. And because there will be no dialogue, Raila should just do what he does when he gets annoyed. If it's swearing himself in, he should do it. In fact, he should do it tomorrow. He should stop using the threat of swearing himself in to push for dialogue. We are not buying it, and dialogue will not happen anyway. This is why instead of acting like a jilted old man, Raila should take the oath tomorrow. Then he should go ahead and form a government in exile, supported by a guerrilla movement. Because he is not above the law, he will be treated like Mungiki and their oathing habits. Or better still, I suspect that Uhuru wants to send him to ICC if he escalates the swearing in to a place of bloodshed. That's what I think.
Now we will give an African fable to Raila. It is about a 10-year-old girl going from Nairobi to Western Kenya in a matatu. On reaching Westlands, the girl got up from her seat and walked to the driver and asked, "Tumefika Naivasha?" The driver answered, "Bado." When they reached Kangemi, the girl walked to the driver again and asked, "Tumefika Naivasha?" The driver screamed, "Not yet," but made a promise to alert the girl when they reached Naivasha. And with this promise, the girl slept. On reaching Naivasha, the matatu driver forgot and drove on for 30 minutes. Then the girl suddenly woke up and asked, "Tumefika Naivasha?" At this point, the driver was devastated. He quickly made a U-turn in the opposite direction and drove back towards Naivasha. When he arrived, he told the girl, "Sasa tuko Naivasha." Then the girl removed a sandwich from her bag and started eating it. Asked what she was doing, she replied, "My mother told me that I can only eat my sandwich when we reach Naivasha." At this point, the angry driver asked the girl, "Where are you going?" Then the girl answered, "I am going to Kakamega."
And now, our final thought. The matatu driver in this story was an assuming man. He assumed that the little girl was going to Naivasha, yet she was going to Kakamega. And because of this, the driver wasted time and fuel. And this is a story of Raila and the NASA sisters. Raila has made far too many assumptions about the girls in his matatu. On August 8th, Mudavadi asked him, Baba, tumefika Canaan? Raila answered, Bado, Bado, Mudavadi. Then on October 26th, Kalonzo asked him, Baba, tumefika Canaan? Raila replied with anger, I will inform you when we reach Canaan. But the problem is that Kalonzo and Mudavadi were not going to Canaan. Like the little girl and Naivasha, Canaan was just a signal for when they should eat a sandwich. It was not the ultimate destination. Raila just made assumptions. Now the Luhya and the Kamba nations are prepared to abandon Raila. He has outlived his usefulness. If Raila reached Canaan, Kalonzo and Mudavadi are going way beyond. And this is why they want to finish Raila through the swearing in.